Hi everyone, I'm Pete Wright with LexJet, and I'm joined today by Joel Wilcock from UFabrik. And we're here to do something kind of fun today. We're going to answer some questions and talk about some just general things that maybe are some misconceptions or some truths, just to help people better understand how to use UFabrik and some of the things that it's capable of doing and where it fits in the market. Joel, how are you doing today?
Very good, thanks for having me.
So you ready for this?
We'll give it a go.
We're going to see what we can throw at you and see what kind of questions we can hit you with.
Yeah,
so
let's try.
Right off the bat, I think one of the questions that a lot of people have is, what is UFabrik capable of? What are the best applications? I have a lot of people that say, can I make clothes with it? Can I do pillows with it? Can I do curtains with it? What about tablecloths? What about window blinds? I mean, there's some things you can and some things you can't. Where are the places that it's not a fit and where are the places that it is a fit?
Yeah, I mean, great question. So, I mean, UFabrik is a range of textiles developed for the soft signage market. So that market wouldn't include, you know, homeware or interior decor or fashion. You know, that they are not products that you would have in that category. So we're talking soft signage fits into exhibitions, you know, frame wraps, SEGs, light boxes, flags, canopies, those types of products. They're all polyester based, so you can only print sublimation or UV and latex if it's coated correctly. Cottons, you need pigment ink, so that wouldn't be an eligible application. So, you know, they're the type of products and applications you're able to do.
So if somebody said, you know what, I want to make a line of bags, but temporary bags, so that when people are walking around a trade show and I want to advertise my company for the trade show, something like that, or is that?
No, absolutely. I mean, the short-term promotional items where the traditional product isn't, say, aligned with that. You know, for example, a tote bag would traditionally be made of cotton, but if it's a short-term throwaway after maybe a week or 3 days or 5 days of an event, and you wanted a polyester bag to do that, then no problem at all. That makes complete sense. But if you want the more traditional version, long-term tote bag, for example, then you would need a cotton product.
Perfect. And that kind of brings us back to the next thing in terms of what you can do with this in terms of stitching and things like that. I know we've talked a lot in applications with signage and things about being able to sew it. And what are we looking at in terms of sewing? How easy is it to sew? How pliable is it? What types of applications are we looking at when you're sewing it as well?
Sure, so they're all polyester, they're all fabric. So sewing it, stitching it, adding additional yarns or cords or threads to the product to reinforce it is absolutely required, it's necessary. If you're producing a flag and you need to add a webbing onto the edge of it and you need to stitch it, then that makes complete sense. You know, these products are not unable to be sewn. They're all designed to be sewn. You know, they're like traditional products like that. So there is zero issue sewing or stitching any cord to our product.
So I know another area of concern that a lot of people have when they haven't worked with fabrics before is just the loading. I mean, I think a lot of people, they have this conception that when you're loading fabric in, just because it's pliable, that it's going to hit rollers and bunch up and they're going to have a hard time loading it and keeping it from jamming and things like that. What are we looking at in terms of how easy or how hard this is to actually load into the machines that are out there?
Yeah, I mean, fabric for a start, you know, when it's manufactured and, you know, when it's taken from a master roll into production rolls, these rolls are wound the same way that you would expect, say, a PVC banner or a roll of vinyl to look. You know, it's wound correctly, it's wound tight, it's wound parallel, it's conformed. So you're not going to randomly get, you know, issues with awkward stretch or difficulties like that. But these machines, you know, from the little 63 inches all the way up to the, you know, the 198 inch to 16-foot machines, you know, they are industrial machines. They have been developed in a way that is ready to accept material and tension it into place. You're not going to have any issues loading UFabrik.
Perfect. Now, the next thing would be, okay, when I'm printing on this, I mean, it's a porous material, it's fabric. It's got a weave to it. How well is it going to hold color? I mean, am I going to get accurate color on this? Can I even make the red that I want look like the red that I need to print on these media? So what do they need to do to know that they're going to get accurate color and vibrant colors? Because obviously we've seen very vibrant colors on all of your fabric, so we know it's possible. What do they need to know about that?
Sure. Well, all of the fabrics are prepared for print. They go through multiple wet processes and coating processes to ensure that ink or color, as you put it, is going to be taken to that fabric, and through different processes, whether it's sublimation or whether it's UV with LED, that you're going to get that richness. But with all materials in this market, whether it's paper or PVC or fabric, an ICC profile is the most effective way of guaranteeing that you're going to get these colors. Now we've done a lot of development on that already with EFI, and we're looking to do that with other vendors too. But a lot of printers have within their RIP preset profiles that you could access and pull down from, and then start to manipulate and evolve. But if you need further additional help, then we're more than able to do that.
So no different than printing on, like you said, papers or any vinyls or things like that. You treat it the same way when it comes to color.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all prepared the same way in terms of it's a product that's ready to be loaded onto a machine and printed onto.
Now, a lot of people that are new, again, unfamiliar with printing on fabric, and it's something they're interested in, they're maybe not familiar with the different ways of mounting and the different ways you can use this. You've mentioned SEGs and things like that. Can you talk to me about some of the different ways that this can be mounted, the frames and the options that are out there?
Yeah, so of course, as we mentioned earlier, SEG, silicon edge graphics. So we talk about silicone, which has to be stitched onto the fabric. But if you don't have a machine, you don't even have a finishing machine, how do you take a fabric that you've not, sewn a product to in order to put into a machine? Then there are lots of systems out there, extruded systems that are available where you do not need the SEG. You can just offer the fabric to it, and with like a credit card, you can just push it into the frame and then just cut away the excess material. So, there are lots of manufacturers out there that are working on solutions where you do not have the correct finishing equipment to offer up to an SEG or a light box.
So just like the media industry has been for years, there's constantly solutions evolving.
Always.
And with fabric being an ever-growing industry and just continuing to expand, there's newer and newer solutions every year that are coming out to make use of it.
Yeah, in the printing industry, it's one of the only, it's one of the only sectors that's on an upward trajectory. Other sectors are flatlining or dropping off, whereas printing onto textiles, soft signage, and fabrics is on a huge upward trajectory, and it has been for the last 10 years. So of course, there are new solutions always being developed to assist in that growth.
Let's talk about sustainability. This is one of those areas that I think is near and dear to everybody's hearts, because we want to see the planet around for a long time, and we see a lot of waste being produced through our everyday drinking water and sodas and things like that. And you guys have become part of the solution with a lot of your products. So talk to me about how UFabrik has become an eco-friendly solution in the industry.
Yeah, I mean, if you go back to what products these fabrics are replacing, that's quite important. So if we look at the exhibition sector, or if we look at the outdoor and indoor events, traditionally you see PVC in those areas. Fabric is coming in and replacing that because it's offering a lighter product, so shipping it is significantly lower in cost, it's lower in its weight, so this carbon footprint is significantly dropped off there too. You don't need a huge install team as well because it's not as heavy. But the main point is these products are polyester. They do not contain any PVC, so these products are not destined for landfill. They can be reused, repurposed, or they can be incinerated for waste to energy. So there are lots of outlets as a product, but in terms of how we manufacture products, we're very aware of our responsibility to always provide our customers with the most economical production processes. So, we have water and air filtration units. We utilize solar energy. We run roughly around 90% less water than other traditional production processes. We're conscious of all of that as well, and all of our coating and finishing lines, they're halogen free. So, we're aware of our responsibility to always perform at that top level, and we continue to invest in economical solutions.
And I think there's a lot of companies that are conscious of that have actually made that a big part of their marketing to their customers. Hey, the products that we use are eco-friendly, and consumers look for that today. So if there's a product you can use even in your marketing, your advertising, and your signage that shows that you're environmentally conscious and you're making decisions that for the long term of our planet are going to be helpful,
Yep.
it makes you look better as a company. So if you're looking and saying, hey, I have to print some signage, whether it's backlit, whether it's opaque material, whatever it is, if you can choose something and say, hey, for everything we're doing, we're eco-friendly, that's got to be a huge bump for companies, right?
Yeah, I mean, all companies are looking to provide a more sustainable solution. They're looking to reduce their waste, which is a big problem. They're looking to switch out products that are guaranteed to go into landfill and put products out there that don't have to go into landfill, that there are solutions out there that can take these products away and reuse them. We've introduced recycled yarn into some of our products as well, where necessary. But as I said, the biggest issue was water, and using up to 90% less water in our manufacturing processes compared to, as I said, other traditional processes that are out there in this industry. That's a massive play. Water filtration, air filtration, solar energy, utilizing what's available around us. And then, you know, as I said, the halogen-free coating and finishing lines are a must.
So Joel, there's a ton of information we've covered right here.
Yeah.
For the people that haven't yet printed on fabrics and they're looking at adding that to their marketing or whatever it is, the product offerings they have, or for people that have already started printing on fabric, but maybe had a few questions and they're looking to kind of grow in a new direction, or even looking for sustainability. We've covered a lot. Thanks for giving us some time
You're
today.
very welcome.
And if you have questions and want to know if there's a solution that fits for you, reach out to us at 1-800-4LexJet or LexJet.com, and we have all the answers you need to know about UFabrik.